Okay, hello you beautiful people. Welcome back. In this update, we are going to check out ICP's price chart, see what is going on in short term, especially with the recent massive drop that we got in BTC. But before we get into all that, real quick, I want to talk about this very important thread from Dominic Williams, the man himself, because in my view at least, this is actually getting a whole lot less attention than it deserves. And after breaking it down, in my view, this is probably the clearest and most complete version a statement that he has ever put out. You see, in this thread, he is describing something that he calls the agentic organization, and his argument essentially is that nearly every single company, startup, government department, and also solo founder on the whole planet is going to become an agentic organization. And the question that he's answering is very simple. What does an artificial intelligence native organization actually looks like in practice? And ICP's entire stack is, as is Dominic's answer. You see, the structure that he describes here has three very key layers. Number one, the outer layer in here is actually employees, but their job is no longer doing things manually. No, it's actually orchestrating artificial intelligence and using custom SaaS applications that AI builds for them on demand. Now, the middle layer in here, number two, is those AI built applications themselves created through tools like, for example, Caffeine AI, Cloud Code, or maybe Perplexity, each containing their own specific data graph. And at the core, number three, sits what he calls the world model, which is essentially all those data graphs from all those applications combined into one giant real-time queryable knowledge base that artificial intelligence agents tap into in order to understand everything about the organization and act on its behalf. Now, think of what this actually means in practice. See, today a typical company runs roughly around maybe 50 to 60 maximum different SaaS tools, including, for example, Slack, Google Docs, Salesforce, HR software, accounting packages, so on and so forth. You get the idea. And the data is completely siloed everywhere. Okay, this is really the key point. And the agentic org actually is able to, at least according to Dominic Williams, replace all of that with custom AI built applications whose data automatically flows into one unified graph, and AI is able to query that graph in real time to make decisions and take actions. Now, at this point, you might ask, well, okay, how is this related to ICP? Because ICP is actually, I would say, quite uniquely positioned for this because, and this is, by the way, the part that most people actually miss. You see, there are a couple of things that are working together inside internet computer that no other platform can replicate. Number one is hack-proof infrastructure, and this means AI can build and update applications continuously without a security team reviewing every single deployment, which is great. Number two is always on applications, and this means no systems admin team is needed to keep the platform up and running, and this enables initially full automation. But the real secret ingredient, which is number three, is orthogonal persistence combined with Motoko. You see, because data lives inside the code itself rather than in a separate database, all those individual SaaS app data graphs can naturally flow together into the world model that Dominic describes in here, and that architecture literally wouldn't work the same way on AWS or basically the whole traditional cloud. Okay, very important to understand this, since the data would be scattered across dozens of separate databases with no natural way to unify them in real time. Very important. Now, if you pay attention to what Dominic is talking about, there's actually one very important angle I would say here that as we go forward, it's probably going to become very much impossible to ignore. And we are talking about the sovereignty angle. You see, the world model contains everything from your organization, including, for example, every customer interaction, every internal document, every financial transaction, every decision made, so on and so forth, basically anything and everything. Now, in internet computer, that is actually going to stay on the infrastructure that you control, on nodes you select, and in locations that you are going to choose. Now, the alternative, okay, it's really not ideal because the alternative is handing your entire company's knowledge graph to Amazon or Google and trusting them with the most sensitive data your organization has ever produced. And for a government or a regulated enterprise, that is not a real option. Okay, this is really important. Maybe for someone like you and me, okay, no problem at all. But for governments, I don't really think so. And once an organization's world model lives on their cloud engine, okay, the switching costs are going to become very much significant, since you would be dismantling the core intelligence of your entire operation to leave. That, my friends, is the kind of stickiness that translates directly into long-term recurring revenue flowing through ICP's token economy. Now, before we conclude this part, there's actually one more specific detail that in this tweet, in my view, deserves its own special moment. You see, Dominic revealed that DFINITY itself is right now replacing its own legacy SaaS with on-demand SaaS running on cloud engines and transforming into an agentic organization. That, my friends, is really not a small thing, okay? This essentially means that the technology is real and it is deployable right here, right now, today. And DFINITY in here is gonna become basically their own best case study. And when they are able to show enterprises the productivity gains from their own transformation, okay, that's just going to be the most credible sales pitch in the whole industry, because they are not selling something that they have built for others. No, they are selling something that they built for themselves first. Hence why, again, this is the best sales pitch. Now, in conclusion, let's zoom out a little bit and put this together with everything that we have analyzed. You see, based on everything that we have analyzed, including Cloud Engine Demo, VetKeys, Mission 70, and also Sovereign Cloud Angle, okay, the picture is going to become very clear. The market that Internet Computer is targeting just got significantly larger, and previously we were only talking about the $1 trillion cloud infrastructure market, but right now maybe the market for them is going to expand quite a bit. And for example, Caffeine Snorkel is designed to auto-migrate legacy enterprise software and also SaaS subscription onto ICP, and every Salesforce seat, every HR system, every accounting package is a potential migration target for Internet Computer, and that is, well, a multi-trillion-dollar replacement market, and ICP has a complete deployable architecture to go after it at exactly the moment that every single major organization on earth is asking how to become AI native. This is really important, and it's one very important reason for why I think, yeah, if they play their cards right and they execute properly, they are able to attract quite a good bit of adoption. So fundamental wise, I think this was a bit of an important tweet that I wanted to talk to you about. Now, with all that said, let's go on the live chart and see what is going on in like very short time, given the recent big dump in BTC and also, for that matter, in a lot of other altcoins as well. Okay, here we are. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about ICP specifically, we were right around the highs, and the idea was that, well, okay, this move up is absolutely a surprise, since I think back then in BTC we were seeing some great moves on the downside, but the moment that we got the job report yesterday, all markets starting to go down, and well, altcoins were really not an exception, and that's why in ICP you have seen a bit of a move on the downside. The question is, can we argue this move down is over, or maybe it's soon going to come to an end? Well, number one, probably not. Question number two, yeah, you know what? Maybe. You see, first things first, let's go around here. If you want to be bullish on any chart and you want to argue that maybe in here, let's say this is like a decent bit of support, we're going to have our final low, then okay, off of the lowest low, you have to find what? You know it if you are a regular viewer of the channel. You have to find 5 wave on the upside. This specific scenario is called an impulsive structure. Rules for it are: we should not have overlapping of the waves between our wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, this wave 3 is simply not allowed to be the smallest wave. And for our sub waves, we're gonna have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. And for our corrective movements, we can consider different counts. Let's say ABC for wave 2, followed by maybe like a WXY structure into our wave 4. Now, let's go on the live chart and see, do we have this or not off of the lowest low? And let me ask you this even, how exactly are you able to find from this point to about the highest high around $4 region a bit of a 5 wave? I'm gonna say maybe somehow you are able to find one, but even if you are, the shape of it is going to look so odd to a degree that, yep, it probably shouldn't be anybody's primary scenario, suggesting what? Yeah, you know what? Odds are in ICP we are having a corrective movement, and after this correction is over, and I think it's probably over on the upside to about here, about $4, we are going to get a move down and set new lows. The question is, have we set new lows or not? Well, the lowest low in here is about $2.1. Where is the lowest low in this region? As you can see, it is about $2 area. So it seems like, nope, the job is not really done yet. And that, my friends, is why I want to argue in ICP, we're going to have probably some more downward price action in the short term. Now, is there a possibility that we're going to go a bit higher first? You know what? Maybe we are going to do something like this. We're going to get a bit of a bounce in order to retest this level, consolidating here, and then, well, once again, I'm expecting yet another move down, and as long as we're not setting lows, I'm going to be very careful about opening any kind of long position in internet computer. Fundamental wise, okay, that's a bit of a different story. Anything under $2 from my POV, it's going to be a magnificent buying opportunity, and I'm just going to take advantage of that in order to get my average purchase as low as possible. And overall, in the mid to long term, I fully believe that in ICP, we are going to witness some great moves on the upside. But you know what? In the short term, no, right now at least, we're not necessarily looking optimistic. And by the way, in terms of Elliott waves, excuse me, you can absolutely say that from the highest high, this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, this is wave 3, this is 4, this is 5, followed by that, this is a correction on the upside, probably an ABC. And if you go, for example, on 5-minute time frame, you absolutely can find the sub waves. You know what, let's just go on 5-minute time frame real quick. There we go. This is, in my view, a zigzag structure, something like this. And then what I'm thinking, probably minimum, very important point, bare minimum, this is a 1, 2, wave 3 to about this point, correction for 4, another move down into wave 5, and this can be once again a correction structure. Again, either it's going to be in form of an ABC or maybe a WXY, maybe even a triangle, generally a consolidation pattern, and then I'm expecting yet another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave to the downside in order to, number 1, set new lows and take the lowest low, which is about $2, and number 2, complete the sub waves on a higher degree for, you know what, a beautiful impulsive structure, something like this. So this is yet another reason for why I think in ICP, no, probably our move down is not really over yet. And by the way, I forgot to tell you this, you see, the fact that in the recent phase I'm writing here in Internet Computer, we took this important low about $2.3, which is basically the previous major pivot low, is yet another bearish confirmation suggesting, yep, maybe this is going to be a bit of a short-term downtrend and our move down is going to continue. And my final reason for why I think the low is not in yet comes down to the king, BTC itself. You see, a lot of the times, whenever you are having a good move on the downside and you want to hit the lows, your last leg down usually looks like this. You're having initially a move down, quick pullback, move down, quick pullback, move down, quick pullback, and in most cases, we are having a decent bit of overlapping of the waves in our initial phases, and this is going to be like an initial slow and choppy move down, since in here, a lot of people believe, you know what, maybe this isn't like a beginning of a new downtrend. Instead, this is just a correction structure. So because of the uncertainty, our moves to the downside are not going to be like that strong. However, there will be a point that pretty much everybody is going to think, yeah, you know what, this is the beginning of a new downtrend. And that is the moment when you are getting some good, strong moves on the downside. And then the juice in here is going to run out a little bit. And what's going to happen after it? Are you going to hit the lows? Probably not. Instead, you are going to have a slow pullback, maybe like another tiny move down, a slow pullback, another tiny move down, a slow pullback, another tiny move on the downside. Basically, it's going to be very similar to this initial phase right in here. And then, fair enough, you're going to hit the lows and get a bit of a bounce back. And if this is going to be a rather strong and sharp bounce in form of, you know what, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by a slow move down, a correction structure, fair enough, maybe the lows. In BTC, the point is that we are probably right around this area, not around the lows. Okay, that's why I think in the king our move down is going to continue. And if we're going to do that, what's going to happen to altcoins? Maybe in most of them, or let's just say this, maybe in ICP, based on the evidence that I showed you, yeah, we are going to continue our move down as well. So again, this is yet another reason to be a little bit pessimistic in the short term. Now, how about indicators? Okay, let's zoom in. As you can see, in weekly time frame in stock RSI, we still have this sell signal, which happened close to around the overbought area, which means this signal does have a bit of validity. How about MACD? Okay, in MACD, we still have this buy signal, and I suspect even if we go down and set new lows and then get a bounce back, we are still going to have this thing. But the main point, I think, comes down to stock RSI having a bit of a sell signal. So maybe this is a bit bearish. How about daily time frame? Okay, in daily chart, yep, now we are having confirmed sell signals in MACD and stock RSI as well, overall suggesting most likely our move down is going to continue. So as you can see, for a lot of the reasons that we talked about in this update, I believe in ICP probably this phase is going to continue and it's not over yet. And minimum, we are going to take the lows about $2 area, and maybe after we're just gonna go quite a little bit lower. In terms of technical analysis and like short-term trades, no, this isn't probably a decent long opportunity. However, when it comes to fundamentals, I think this might be a great buy opportunity in case you are like me, a bit of a fundamental and fair value investor, and you do not care about necessarily like the short-term price action for your investment. Okay, all I care about is the long-term trend, and I think in the mid to long term the price is going to appreciate quite a lot. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Internet Computer's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.